Yes, yes. The trouble with today's youth is the Beatles. When the older generation was the younger generation, it was different. We had fun, but we were sensible.
Ringo, Paul, George, John.
At 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 to see them, and all they do is push you farther and farther away, and then they don't even let you see them.
I got every Beatle record at home, every Beatle record. We didn't get to see them. What kind of police protection? Yeah.
You officers that are stationed in front of the stage behind the barricade, you will go to Mr. Morris Shapiro, the first aid man, and he will furnish you with earplugs so as to keep you from having a headache. If he runs out of earplugs, he has got some cotton. You can use that. We have a detention room set up within the Coliseum. Any person that you arrest for ejection will be brought to room D. Is that understood? You will take the names, the addresses, and the telephone numbers. We will not allow any dancing, running up and down the aisle. Is that clear with everybody?
I'm going Sunday. Just to see the reaction of the audience. I think that's even more important, I think.
And they made 2 great pictures. So I guess they're great.
What do you want?
Well, what are you going to do in there, Groucho? Are you going in to listen to Beatles?
I'm going in and get drunk.
You wouldn't dare. Are you really?
Of course I am.
Brought the charming family with you?
Whenever I can get a free drink, I'll go anywhere.
You bet your life.
That's a very funny answer.
What do you like best about America?
I don't know. Everything.
Can't you just tell us one thing?
I like the American audience.
Thanks, George. And Ringo, what do you like best about America?
I think it's the size and the pace of it, you know, it's so different to Britain. It knocks me out, you know.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Paul, and you?
What did you want to do before you became a Beatle?
Nothing. I didn't want to do anything else. Honest.
What do you like best about America?
The music. American music.
How does that differ from your music, English?
It's better, I think. You know, the kind of stuff we like the American colored groups and things. That's better. And also it's on every minute of the day. You know, in England it's only on, say, for a couple of hours. It's on all the time here.
Thanks, Paul. John, what did you want to do before you became a Beatle?
Nothing really. I just wanted to be rich, you see. But I wanted to be a Beatle mainly.
What do you define as a Beatle?
That's what we are, you know. A group, singing and selling records. That's what I wanted to do.
How would you define Beatlemania?
I couldn't define it. You know, a lot of people have tried. I'm not going to try. Leave it to the psychologists and let them get it wrong.
John thought of the name Beatles, and he'll tell you about it now.
It means Beatles, doesn't it? You know, that's just a name. You know, like shoe. It means shoe.
The shoes.
You see, we could have been called the Shoes for all you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, 5'11". The question here. Go ahead now. Thank you.
Tell Murray to Kane to cut that crap out.
Cut that crap out. Hey, Murray. Is that a question?
Suzanne Davis says you guys are nothing but a bunch of British Elvis Presleys.
He must be blind.
It's not true.
These are the fantastic scenes outside Liverpool Town Hall just after the Beatles arrived. The casualties, they've been put at about 100 by the St. John ambulance men. They're falling like ninepins, the crush barriers are giving way. Liverpool's never seen anything like this. What's it feel like to come back to a big civic reception like this?
Very nice.
Did you ever imagine that this day was coming?
Never like this.
A pop music newspaper, which started in Liverpool 2 years ago with a capital of £200, now claims to sell 25,000 copies every fortnight. Its editor, Bill Harry.
When we started in Merseybeat 2 years ago, the Beatles were tying the mics to broomsticks. They had long haircuts and rather an untidy form of dress. All over Merseyside, the groups were wearing jeans on stage, were very sloppy, long haircuts. Worst of all, they were actually swearing on stage. So we wrote some editorials. Get your haircut. Don't smoke on stage. Stop swearing. And we found that the groups did take notice. Smart suits on stage, a more professional outlook. And rock and roll became more of a major industry than just a hobby.
I hope to have enough money to go into a business of my own by the time we do flop.
Well, obviously we can't keep playing the same sort of music until we're about 40.
I've always fancied having a lady's hairdresser salon, you know, a string of them, in fact.
And now may we have our next contestant, please. Will you come in, sir? Will you tell our panel, please, what your name is and where you are from?
I'm Pete Best, and I'm from West Derby in Lancashire.
Peter Best, and he is from West Derby, Lancashire, England. Now, Peter, if you'll whisper your secret to me, we'll show it at the same time to our audience at home. And here we go. You mean you came all the way from England just to tell us that? Oh, boy. You ever had one of those days? Well, panel, to help you classify Peter Best's secret, the clue concerns something he did. We'll start the questioning, please, with Bess Myers.
Well, one thing you did, Peter, was avoid getting a haircut in recent days. Does this have anything to do with your secret?
A little.
Could you be a new kind of bug that we've imported from England?
I might be.
Do you sing, by the way?
No.
No. Do you have anything to do with your predecessors, with the Beatles at all?
Yeah.
You do?
Answer to that is yes. $20 down, $60 to go. We go, please, to Bill Cullen.
Well, the Beatles did or do come from Lancaster.
Lancashire.
Lancashire, do they not? Yeah. Do you have anything to do with the Beatles' hairdo?
No.
Oh, heck, I was hoping you were their barber.
I just...
That blows my next 5 questions out. Did you have anything personally to do with the Beatles, Pete?
Yeah.
Do you still?
Do you still have anything to do with the last question?
Vaguely.
Just socially.
Oh.
All right. So now we've got 40 down and 40 to go, and we go, please, to Betsy.
Did there used to be 5 Beatles, Peter?
Yeah.
And you were one of them?
That's it.
Peter Best came all the way from England to tell us that 2 years ago he made a big career move. He left his job, which is not in itself unusual, except for one little thing. The job he had was as the drummer.
Oh, my, Ringo.
He was Ringo's predecessor in the Beatles. And we have here a picture, which I'll turn to camera one, of the Beatles when Peter Best, not Ringo Starr, was the drummer for the Beatles. And reading from left to right, there is John Lennon and George Harrison and Paul McCartney, isn't it? And our own Peter Best. You see him there, but he hasn't changed a bit. Eh? Now, Peter, how long were you with the Beatles?
I was with them 2.5 years.
That was before they had the hairdos,
yeah,
right?
That was it.
Now I'm going to say the word that I'm sure it's on everyone's lips. Why did you leave the Beatles?
Well, at that time, I thought I'd like to start a group of my own.
Yes.
And I thought that at that time also that they weren't going to go as big as what they are now.
He figured this was an act with no future, and so he might as well pull out and start an act of his own. So, well, don't worry, no one's perfect.
Yeah, first of all, you introduce yourselves.
George Harrison, Paul McCartney,
John Lepper,
Jimmy Nicol. The question we just had from one of the people in the audience is, were any of you in love?
Me.
Yes, he's married.
That's right. Yes, of course.
Does that put you in an exceptional position? Being married?
Sunday, yeah.
On Sunday. Would you want to get married, the others?
No, I don't like marriage.
Why not?
No good marriage.
It's good.
What do you think?
I don't know yet. When I've got some more money.
Cost money to get married?
Well, you need a bit, don't you? You know,
to marry?
You need a new suit and hat and that.
Is your wife expensive?
Quite. Yes.
How much did she cost when you bought her?
She was about £50 in Nairobi.
But she was second hand, wasn't she?
Was she second hand?
How dare you?
What did he say? Herman, nog een vraag, Gert.
Ja, hier is een jongen die wil daar meteen eigenlijk op aansluitend. Hoe vinden de Beatles de Hollandse meisjes?
What do you think of Dutch girls, as far as you've seen them? Any views?
Very good, yes.
Very good?
Very nice.
Excellent. Why?
What did you say?
Why?
Why are they good?
Yeah.
Well, all girls are good, actually, but I mean...
What makes a girl good?
What makes a girl good? I don't know,
Oh, no, I'm just helping him.
Berend, ja, die meisjes doen alles om bij de Beatles in de gunst te komen. Je moet eens kijken, ze hebben zichzelf in geweldige Beatle-jurken gestoken. Ga eens even staan. En daarachter staat er nog een. Dat zijn dezelfde meisjes die vanmorgen in Volendams kostuum bloemen hebben aangeboden. Wie had er nog een vraag? Jij?
Ja, ik wilde dus vragen of de Beatles buiten dus Engeland of in Engeland zelf nog bepaalde favoriete bandjes hebben. Zoals Swingin' Blue Jeans, Dave Clark 5, Fred and the Dreamers of zo.
Ja.
Iets van die aard.
Ja.
Well, you heard the names they mentioned. Whether you have any favorites in England with a new band?
Searchers and the Rolling Stones we like.
Very good.
Jij had nog een vraag, hè? Helemaal uit Bangkok. Nog een vraag.
Nee, ik had een vraag.
Oh, jij had een vraag.
Ik wilde vragen of Jimmy het moeilijk vond om die rol van Ringo zo ineens over te nemen.
You're on, Jimmy. Whether you find it difficult to take over the role of Ringo?
No, not really. No. As far as Ringo, I can never make up for what Ringo is.
How long will you be doing this?
Until next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yes.
So you're sort of understudy.
Yes, I am.
You think it's a great break?
Oh yes.
Excellent. Treating you good?
Marvelous.
Ja, dat hysterische gedoe, dat dus altijd bij een Beatle-optreden behoort te zijn. Vinden zij dat een bepaald nodig? Of hebben zij een bepaalde voorkeur voor een rustiger publiek?
I'm translating the question. It's
Ja,
my own question.
dat moet je wel, Berend.
Whether you think that the hysterical public is necessary for your act?
Not necessary, but it helps, it gives a good atmosphere. We all love it.
Do you think it is hysterical? Because
some is. No, but it's nice when there's a lot of noise going on. It's like a football match. When there's a lot of noise going on, it's good. It's a good feeling. Goal.
Well, why is it always the girls? The more girls who are interested.
In Paris.
Well, that's because we're fellas,
If there was all boys, there'd be something funny.
Berend, daar kan ik namelijk niet bij komen met de microfoon, maar die wilde graag weten.
I think I more or less asked us whether you will go along with any change in taste.
No.
Well, you never know because we have. Well, we come along with yeah. We don't notice that ourselves, but people always say that we've changed a bit. We can't notice it, so we probably will change a little. But
We wouldn't play trad.
We wouldn't do anything drastic like you say with a big band or anything like that because we don't enjoy that kind of music.
You just do this kind of music because you enjoy it.
Because we like it. Well, that's the main reason. If we didn't, we'd give up tomorrow.
Did you enjoy the ride?
Well, funny standing there in your new coat. Seeing as they got so, you know, we didn't mind.
We'd like to pay a tribute for you coming on the open cart in that truck round because the kids have been waiting all night and they appreciate it.
Well, they deserved it, didn't they, waiting all night?
Yeah, hope you're wearing drip-dry clothes, were you?
No, we just do. We thought it was going to be sunny.
George,
Yeah.
who selected the name the Beatles and how did you derive this particular name with
Well, I
BEA
think
instead of
John
BEA?
got the name Beatles
Innovation,
ages ago, you know, when we needed a name and everybody was thinking of a name and he thought of Beatles.
Why the BEA instead of the BE?
Well, actually, you know.
Well, you know, if they left it with BEE, it was hard enough getting people to understand why it was BEA, never mind.
Paul, what do you expect to find here in Australia?
Australians.
Do you have any acknowledged leader of the group?
No, not really.
We heard you stood on the balcony outside, is that right? We heard you stood on your head on the balcony outside.
We don't have to get some room.
You didn't stand there.
Yeah?
How do the tickets go in Hong Kong? Did you get full houses there?
I think so.
Yeah. No, a few 5 quid seats.
Yeah, 5 quid left. Yeah, they were a bit hot, weren't they?
I would heard it. I would see me in for 5 quid.
I wouldn't say any of you for too long.
John, has the Mersey beat changed since you've been playing it?
Oh, we still keep on saying there's no such thing as Mersey. It's something the press made up, you know.
Well,
We call it
you
rock
play
and
the same
roll.
way now as you did...
Just rock and roll, just so happens we write most of it.
Has Buddy Holly influenced your music at all, John?
He did in the early days, obviously, you know. But, no, well, not obviously, but, you know, he was one of the greats. And that,
So
we
did
liked
James
him.
Thurber, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, but he doesn't sing so well.
Have you been practicing up your Australian accent?
No, Carl, we're not at all.
We can't get it, you know. Do you think you'll be writing any songs with Australian themes?
No, we never write themes about anything, you know. Just write the same rubbish all the time.
You play the kind of music you want to play or the kind of music you think people want to hear?
No, we've been playing this kind of music for like 5 or 6 years or something like that. It's just rock and roll, you know. It just happens we write it.
Well, what do you think made the difference that suddenly put you up above the other groups?
Well, we got a record contract.
Speaking of records, what record do you all agree on generally as your best recording? Not the best seller, but as the best recording musically.
I mean, our favourite.
Well, we always like the one we just made, don't we? So it's Long Tall Valley for me.
This is your latest one?
I like.
Well, it's quite new, you know.
I like. It's not even a song. Sorry. I like You Can't Do That.
What do you like, Jimmy?
What about you, Jim? You haven't seen anything?
Yeah,
How do you
I like
feel,
that
Jimmy,
one.
being in with the Beatles?
Pardon?
How do you feel being in with the Beatles, the newcomers, standing in for Ringo?
It's a good experience, man.
How is Ringo?
He's much better. He joins them on Sunday.
What do you do then?
I go back to London and they're fixing up a band for me and I do some television.
And he's away?
You're progressing pretty well with your Beatle haircut.
Yeah, well, I've been growing it for about 3 months. But...
How long does it take to get a magnificent name like this?
I don't know, I can't remember being without it.
Do you ever go to the bar then, John?
No, you know, I've had my haircut since the film. The woman on the film cut it good, but I don't trust anybody else.
This is the film Beatlemania, is it?
No, it's not called that. That's another story.
It's Hard Day's
Night, it's called.
Are you satisfied with the finished product?
Well, it's as good as anybody that makes a film who can't act, you know.
The 4 lads from Liverpool are off again with the assistance of the justly famous Bobby. And against the background of thousands of screaming fans, the daily ritual of going to work is like taking your life in your hands. today's assignment is making their first movie, A Hard Day's Night, for United Artists. Behind barriers set up by police the night before, the fans urge their heroes on with the ear-splitting howl that has become a Beatles trademark. The location, Paddington Station in London, where the real business of movie making begins. The crew and director Richard Lift has busily set up shop. Different spots around the station, production assistants select eager extras for the thrill of their lifetime. They're going to be in A Hard Day's Night and doing what comes most naturally, chasing John, George, Paul, and Ringo. This time for the cameras. Imagine getting paid for all that fun. The production schedule is made to be followed, and even the Beatles have to stick to a timetable. They pack themselves off to the afternoon location where the second crew is getting ready for them. There probably isn't anyone in the world who hasn't heard of La Scala Opera House. Here is that famous theater, only this one is not in Milan. It's in London, and playing host to another mob, a movie company, and the inevitable Beatles. Somehow, the four whimsical wonders have been sneaked past the waiting crowds and enjoy a few moments of relative peace. To prove that wonders never cease, producer Walter Shenton corralled 1,500 youngsters to fill the seats and make believe they're enjoying themselves. An accomplishment soon to get almost out of hand when the big scene starts on stage. Enter the Beatles, the universal cue for mass mayhem. Several bows later, the Beatles' own version of A Hard Day's Night.
Last month, 75 teenagers from Pennsylvania petitioned Her Majesty the Queen to have the Beatles knighted. Well, this hasn't happened. But today I'm pleased to say that they have been made members of the most honorable order of the British Empire. Congratulations, John, George, Ringo, and Paul. Tell me, how did you all react to this?
Well, I went...
Which means in sound.
Whoopee.
Well done. George.
Well, I sort of went, wow, that's great.
Ringo.
Yes.
About the same.
Yes, I think we all felt pretty well the same.
Now, last year in America, your record sold no less than $10 million worth. Do you think your export sales has something to do with this?
Well, you know, somebody said it might have been that.
The papers keep telling us it was.
It could have been that, but it could have been...
It might have been for tour in Australia.
Now, do you think you'll go back to the Commonwealth again? This was a sensational visit.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we probably will. It's up to Mr. Epstein, our manager.
What does this MBE mean to you all? How are you going to deck out to go to the palace? There's certain protocol to be observed. Are you going to dress up in morning dress?
Yes, well, I think you've got to, haven't you?
Yeah, we'll have to.
We'll get them.
What about the haircut, Ringo?
Well, we're not going to get it all cut off, you know. Someone said we can carry the hat, so that'll be easier.
I think Her Majesty will understand, you know.
She may well do. From obscurity in a cellar in Liverpool 4 years ago and now to Buckingham Palace. Gentlemen, what do you think everybody on the other side of the Atlantic is going to say to this?
Whoopee, I hope. Yes, I hope. You never know, they might say boo or...
They might say, hello, Cobber, or something like that.
Or,
hello there, boys.
Good on you, Blue.
Yeah.
Well done.
Or, howdy, Europe. Texas speaking.
Now, two of you have got married, and you all live in, well, good domestic splendor. Has this affected your writing, Paul and John?
No, it's easier to write with cushions and on pieces of hard bench, which you know we were on hard benches before we met.
Yeah, in the slime and
unknown cellar of Liverpool, and it's much easier on a nice cushion.
What are your plans for tours for this year and next year?
We're going to Europe
next week.
Next week.
Sunday, actually.
And then we come back
and we go off to America.
For 2.5 weeks.
A telly.
We do the Ed Sullivan. Good old Ed.
Ed Sullivan. Hi, Ed.
Is he on?
He's watching. He's watching in this one. Looking. There he is. All right, Ed. It's Mrs. Ed.
I'm Mr. Ed.
Have you checked, gentlemen, whether you'll be able to wear your MBEs on any of these other foreign television programs?
Well, I suppose once they've given them to us, we can wear them.
We don't look. You look a bit funny though, going round with your medals hanging off, isn't it?
Well, we could wear them on stage.
Anyway, it hasn't changed your life to any great extent.
No, it's just, we're just honoured, that's all.
Well, Beatles, and we're all delighted.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank you very
again to the
much.
four of you. Thank you for coming.
The Beatle boycott is still in effect. We haven't forgotten what the Beatles said.
We meant more to kids than Jesus did, or religion at that time. I wasn't knocking it or putting it down, I was just saying it. The fact, and it is true, especially more for England than here. You know, I'm not saying that we're better or greater or comparing us with Jesus Christ as a person or God as a thing or whatever it is. You know, I just said what I said and it was wrong or was taken wrong, and now it's all this.
There have even been threats against your life. There have been record burnings. You've been banned from some radio stations. Does this bother you?
Well, it worries me.
Yeah, you know, it's sponsored by those things.
Do you think you're being crucified?
No, I wouldn't say that at all.
The Beatles, for a long time, have been able to, because of their tremendous popularity throughout the world, especially with the younger set, have been able to say whatever they wanted to without any regard for judgment or maturity or the wisdom of it. And no one yet has challenged them to any tremendous degree where it might count.
Oh, I still like them, I guess. I mean, I like the way they write, but every time I hear them sing, I can't help but think about what they said.
From their appearances and from the conglomeration of colors that they're involved, I couldn't identify them as whether they're actually white or black. I don't have that knowledge. I don't have any knowledge of their involvement in civil rights. The only attitude I could assume that they're interested in one thing, and that's the greenback dollar and what money they could get. If it would be popular to be black, I'm sure they'd consider themselves black. If it's popular to be white, they'd be white. All they're after is the fast buck that they can get.
It's the real thing because the hotel manager of the Whittier Hotel and the Muhlenbeck Hotel signs an affidavit certifying that this is the Beatle bedding they slept on and who slept on what sheet and was belongs to who, Ringo, George, or Paul.
Now, when you get these things cut up into 1 square inches apiece, what are you going to do with them?
Sell them.
I spent over $20 on their records and stuff.
What is there about the Beatles that you like?
They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. They got that certain something.
This is Doug Layton and Tommy Charles reminding you that our fantastic Beatle boycott is still in effect. Don't you forget what the Beatles have said.
Don't forget to take your Beatle records and your Beatle paraphernalia to any one of our 14 pickup points in Birmingham, Alabama, and turn them in this week if possible.
And the name of it is A Sprout of a New Generation. It shows Paul McCartney coming up from the earth, like growing a sprout, a start, a new dawn. You see, the Beatles are the original. They started the look, everything, and they are the greatest group out. And here is, see, if you notice, he's like growing. And I like the oil paint, and I love to present his paint in the pool, and I love him to have it, and I love to meet him, because,
Do you think you have any chance of meeting him?
Well, I don't really know. It's really a luck because a lot of people meet them because they know somebody. But I would like to give Paul this and show him I'm a true fan and that, you know, and that I wouldn't tear him apart, speak to him like a decent human being, and that he's really the greatest in show business.
It sounds like you have sort of a crush on Paul McCartney.
Yes, that's true. I love all the Beatles, but Paul's my favorite.
I've spoken to many of the promoters this morning, and when I leave here, I have a meeting with several of the promoters who are not anxious that any of the concerts should be cancelled at all. Actually, if any of the promoters were so concerned, and it was their wish that a concert should be cancelled, I wouldn't, in fact, stand in their way. As a matter of fact, the Memphis concert, which is nearest to the place where this broke out, apparently sold more tickets yesterday than they had done up until that date.
Yeah. Hello.
George.
I just got it. What's this? How are you? Good to see you, sweetheart. Is he talking to us? Oh, well,
hello. How are you?
Well, inside.
Is the best actor.
I think Ringo is. Ringo.
I think you are.
Oh, no, I think you
No,
are.
you are.
No, it's you. Okay, so put those lights on. We hide it from. Oh.
No, we marry it.
Yeah. We hide it.
We don't see it really.
You put the bullet in the furnace.
Oh, we pay a lot of taxes.
We pay a lot of tax.
Yeah, that's why we pay a lot of taxes.
Ringo, do you have any time off in this tour? And if you do, what do you plan to do during the time off?
I think we have about 5 days off in LA starting Monday, and we're just going to sit around, you know.
You put in the stock market. How's your stock going? Up or down?
It's going up, I believe.
Your stuff? You never told me you got stuff.
I got your stuff. Oh, it's Melbourne, son.
Or start your own label, and if so, where is it going to be?
We'd never start our own label. It's too much trouble, you know.
You invest heavily in some other company that has the Beatles, or?
I don't know. That'll be all up to Mr. Epstein.
How long before your contract does terminate with Capitol?
I don't know. I don't even remember signing it. A year. It lasts another year. Oh.
Yes, Kelly.
This is George from www.
Jeff Warren, Quincy at Global Magazine.
Hi, Jeff.
I'd like to ask you all a personal question about your hair. Mine's a little long, too, and how can you sleep at night with it that long?
Well, when you're asleep, you don't notice. True. Oh, that told. How do you sleep with your arms and your legs still attached? Just the same.
We got used to it over the years, you know.
People have only had short hair since the World War, so they've been sleeping for all those thousands of years with long hair. How are you used to sleeping with it short? I don't know how you live. Maybe that's why we've been up every night for the last few years. Maybe that's why we have parties. That's it. That's it. We can't sleep with this long hair. Great. How do you mean stops for what?
Like a holiday.
Holidays.
In other words,
you mean
two performances now and then will always be in the form of a grand tour.
It's not worth coming over for 1 or 2 performances. We may as well go to as many places as we can when we come.
Do you expect it to be annually as it has been?
Yeah,
I think so.
It's,
Thank you.
we don't really know. It's our manager.
Shazam.
Yes?
I got my start playing the drums from you. After I listened to you, I started playing them.
Oh, you'll never get anywhere if you listen to me. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was wondering how long have you been playing your drums?
About
When you really started?
30 years, isn't it?
Yeah, about 7 years now.
How old are you?
I'm 14.
Well, you're
Same
okay.
age as us.
Great. By the time he learns, I'll have a machine doing it. Pardon?
Do you have plans of getting married in the future?
No, not particularly. People with long hair, you know, you want to give it. It's not a problem, I tell you. It's just as much a problem as having short hair, which to you seems like no problem. It's more of a problem having short hair, having to keep it short.
Also, your stage costumes that you use or apparel that you wear, this is definitely a trend. May I ask you, who does your tailoring for you?
A man called Douglas Millings. Millings he makes of London. To what we order, you know, we tell him how to do it and he makes them. Or he tells them how to do it. Or he tells them how to do it. Pardon? Where are you?
What did he say? Oh, fine, thanks, fine. Am I on?
Hey, what's the name of your station? What's the name of your station? I didn't quite catch it.
Hi, John. Hi, Paul. Hi, Rick.
I'll tell you that if you ever come to Omaha, you can stay at my house.
Oh, thank you.
That's the best thing they've ever got, that. That's great, man.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
It's fab. That's marvellous. Well, that's mine. That's mine. It's fab, that. It's great. You got one for me?
I wish we had one for everybody.
They moved in and out of the motel. They seemed to mingle with quite a number of young girls who were on the sidewalk. These were, for the most part, primarily Minneapolis girls. At midnight, we called the curfew. We told the kids that they were in violation of it, those under 18 years of age, and they would have to move on. It came to our attention at that time from a couple of the girls on the sidewalk that they had friends who they were waiting for that were within the motel. We then felt, of course, that the only place they would be is on the 5th floor of the motel where the Beatles were housed. We went to the 5th floor and we completely shook down the 5th floor, doing this with the aid of pass keys, knocking on doors and telling people that the curfew was now enforced and that they would have to have guests leave the hotel.
What was their reaction to this enforcement?
Some of the members of the troop, Phil, became very indignant. They told us that Minneapolis was a very narrow-minded town, as were its police officials, and that other cities had been very tolerant to the parties that they had held in their rooms. Some persons' likes are my dislikes. As far as Beatle music, I could care about it not one bit myself personally. However, this does not mean that it is not popular music. As far as the Beatles' entourage, or the group of hangers-on and people who make their living off them are concerned, those that were around the hotel I have no use for, nor do I care if they ever return to Minneapolis, which they have threatened not to do.
What would you elaborate on this? Who threatened not to come to Minneapolis again?
One of their group with a British accent told me that they would never come back to Minneapolis, and I remarked to him that if they did not come, it would be too soon for me.
Was this because of the enforcement?
I believe so, Phil. They were very irate about that, and they could not understand why our bars closed at 1 o'clock, nor could they understand many other things.
As far as Paul McCartney is concerned, did you have any personal problem with him?
No, sir, we did not. I did not speak to Mr. McCartney. I felt that he had a business manager here, and I felt it was his place to keep his product in tow.
Are you a Beatle fan?
No, sir, I hear the music around my house, but I'm not a Beatle fan.
Do you expect any calls as a result of this?
Yes, sir, I do expect quite a few calls, Phil. It just seems that every time that we do take an enforcement action, we do get some calls.
Inspector, would you relate some of your unhappy experiences this past weekend with the Beatle group?
Well, Phil, they were unhappy incidents due to the fact that when we have a group in town, we try to afford our people an opportunity to see them. We hope that no incidents arise, but in this case, some did. Number one, of course, we were very happy in that upon the arrival of the troop, we were rather concerned with security at the Leamington Motor Inn, but we accomplished getting them into the motel and up to their floor with no incidents arising. We had no trouble, Phil, with 3 of the Beatles because they had, upon returning from the show at Met Stadium, had gone to the hotel, had had a lunch, and had gone right to bed. We did have trouble, however, with the report of a girl in one of their rooms, that of Paul McCartney. We did, however, get the manager of the Beatle troupe to announce himself at Mr. McCartney's room and tell him that the girl would have to leave the room or we would have to force entry into the room. We told all members of the troop who were causing us a problem that they were in violation of a city ordinance, that of false hotel registration, where only the person registered in the room may reside there. We felt, Phil, very frankly, that this is a typical traveling troupe, much like you have with a circus.
and that they are here today and they are gone tomorrow. We are accountable, of course, to all the citizens of Minneapolis, and we feel for the welfare and safety of their kids, even though they may be a little hysterical and they may go a little overboard for this type of thing. We know where our responsibility lies. We did remove several girls from the hotel. We removed a couple of them from a room that had been reserved for a dining room, and they were in bed in this room. Most of the kids were not too indignant upon being removed because they had to accomplish their purpose in getting into the hotel.
So I understand you feel that these kids did not have any idea of proper behavior.
The Beatles? I don't believe so, or I don't think they would tolerate this thing going on within the troop.
Welcome to a young author from Liverpool. In fact, you are the first author from Liverpool I've ever seen.
Great.
But your first book sold in 350,000 copies and came out this year. Is that right?
That's right.
That's right. And tell me, you brought 3 of your friends. Could you please introduce
Yes,
them?
there's George Parasol, Ringo Stone, and Paul Machamley.
And did they have anything to do with your book? Did they help you or did they hinder you in any way?
No, they typed it out for me.
That's right. I mean, they can spell and you...
Oh, they spell very greatly.
That's nice. By the way, I read a review about it in Times Literary Supplement, and then I read the book. And then I wonder, are you influenced by Thurber or James Joyce?
None of them.
James Stewart.
No.
James Stewart.
James Stewart and Betty Grable.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, I'm quite sure that our Swedish viewers would like to hear you read one of your poems.
Right.
Good.
Good dog, Nigel.
Yeah?
Half he goes, I met his sight, our little hairy friend. Half upon the lamppost bright.
It's all like that.
Half in round the bend.
Look. This one's better.
Is that better?
Look.
Ja, vad John Lennon säger och vad hans kompisar säger, det må de som kan Liverpoolska ha glädje av.
Well, George. Yeah, follow you. Turn to the left. On the left. This way?
No, John.
Well, my name is Derek. Nice to meet you. Hello, Eric. Welcome to Japan. Well, I'll be the MC for your show at, well, I have a few questions here. You have a good sleep?
Yes, fine.
Did you have any knowledge about Japan before coming? A little?
Yes, a little bit, not much though.
Not
about as much as we know about most places we go to.
I see. Well, how the Japanese fans?
Great. Seem very great. Yeah, we get lots of letters from Japan.
Oh, but you didn't meet them at the airport?
No, when we came in, it's amazing security. I've never seen so many people guarding us.
And so we don't want you to be hurt or anything.
No.
So we're trying our best.
But we don't want the security to hurt the fans, You don't get too rough with them.
And, I understand you met your queen.
Yeah.
What was the impression?
Oh, she's okay.
Very good.
Yes, one of the best.
How did you feel when you received the medal?
It was nice.
It was early in the morning. Oh, about 10 o'clock.
You had to get up. You hate to get up.
We don't like to get up too early.
As
we don't go to bed till late.
And what musician and composer do you respect most?
No, I don't know, really. John Lennon.
And Paul's marriage, question.
It's not true.
It's not true.
It's wrong. It's George's marriage.
George's marriage.
These three are married.
How many times do you wash your hair in a week?
About once.
Once in a week.
It depends, you know.
Depends how hot it is, how dirty it gets.
Depends what
you
you're
cut
doing.
them often?
That's the same, you know, whenever you feel like this. You don't do it every week, you don't do it every month, you know, it just happens.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now what do we do?
Oh, now say goodbye to dead and dead.
Gentles, perchance you wonder at this show, but wonder on till truth makes all things plain. This man is Pyramus, if you would know. This beauteous lady, this man presenteth wool, that vile wool which did those lovers sunder. And through wool's chink, poor souls, they were content to whisper. This man with lantern, dog, and bush of thorn presenteth moonshine. This grisly beastia, Lion is by name. For all the rest, let lion, moonshine, wool, and lovers twain at large discourse, while they do remain.
In the same interlude doth befall that I, once not by name, present a wall, and such a wall is, as I would have you think, that had in it a granite hole or cheek, through which the lovers, Pyramus and Thisbe, did whisper often, very secretly.
Go back to Liverpool!
Oh, I fear my Thisbe's promise is forgot. And thou, oh wall, oh sweet and lovely wall, that stands between our father's ground and mine. Oh thou, oh wall, oh sweet and lovely wall. Show me thy chink to blink through with my eye. But what's the eye? No Thisbe do I see. Oh wicked wall, cursed be He should not, because this is Thisbe's cue, and she comes in, and we look through the watch.
How bold, full often hast thou heard my moan. Poor parted my fair Pyramus and me. My cherry lips have often kissed thy stones.
I see a voice. Now will I to the chink. And smile like my Thisbe's face. Up to the chink, then. Come along, kid. There is a bee. There is the bee. Ah!
My love, my love. Thou art my love, I
Darby! Wilt thou sing his tune? Beat me straight away.
Ninny's tune, is that still old pride? Oh, jolly good.
Not about right.
Thus have I, Wall, my part discharged so, and being done, away Wall doth go.
Come on, Puss! Come on, Puss!
You ladies, you who fear the smallest monstrous mouse that walks the floor, may now perchance both quake and tremble here, when lion rough in wildest rage doth roar. Arr.
Feed that lion!
And know that I, one Ringo the drummer, am. But if I was really a lion, I wouldn't be making all the money I am today, would I?
This lantern doth the honoured moon present.
Back, come here, come here.
This lantern doth the honoured moon present. I, the man in the moon that seem to be.
Who?
Look you, all I have to say is to tell you that this lantern is the moon, you see. You got it? I'm the man in the moon. This thorn bush here is my thorn bush, and this doggy woggy here is my dog. And if you don't wrap up, we'll give you a kick in the eye.
So this is old Ninny's tomb. moon, I thank thee for thy sunny beams. Remember, before when... Hello, hello, hello. What's this? Hey, look, eyes do you see? How can it be? What dreadful dole is here? Thy mantle good, all covered in blood. Oh, dainty duck, oh dear. Roll over Shakespeare. Come tears, confound, out sword, and wound that pap of Pyramus, that left pap, where heart doth hop, thus die I, thus. It's all right. Now am I dead. Now am I fled. Oh well, you can't win them all. Tongue, lose thy light. Moon, take thy flight. See you, George. Now die. Asleep, my love. Die.
What, dead, my dove? Pinimus, arise. Oh, speak. Quite dumb.
Dead, a tomb must cover thy sweet eyes, those lily lips. It's cherry nose. These yellow cowslip cheeks are gone. Lovers make moan, his eyes but green as leaf. Tongue, not a word.
Not a word. Don't call us.
Shut up! Not a word. Come, trusty sword. Come, blade, my breast improve. And so farewell, friends, thus this be ends. I do like to be. I do like to be.